right, Dolphin fans. So, you can't win every week. I'm disappointed, obviously, that we lost, but I'm more disappointed in that we didn't take advantage of the fact that Kansas City lost. Because had we won that game, I believe, give or take a tiebreaker, we would have been in control of the top seed in the AFC overall. Now, in terms of this recap, this is a naked recap. And what I mean by that is I have no idea what the narrative is with the fan base. I haven't looked on Facebook, haven't looked on Twitter. When they returned the fumble at the end of the game for the touchdown, mentally I clicked off, went upstairs, and had to do the rest of the work. So, okay. Well, Colin and I were watching the Browns game. I know it was 30-0 at halftime, right? But Tua still wasn't. He didn't look perfect. He didn't look like himself. He was missing a few throws, or the Browns games. The Texans. They're so bad it didn't matter that he was missing throws. There were guys open, he was missing throws. Whatever. We win the game, move on. He didn't have a greatest game. And we start the game off yesterday with a perfect pass to Sherfield, who runs past everybody. It is a beautiful thing. And you're sitting here thinking the poor 49ers like, you get Tyreek, I'll get Jaden. We're good. And then all of a sudden here comes Sherfield just running past everybody. So you couldn't ask for a better start to the game. Then, and this is where my concern starts to get in. And there's other things. We're going to get into things other than Tua. But last year, when everything was on the line against the Titans, Tua did not have a good game. Okay? This game yesterday, I think, was the worst we've seen him play, maybe ever. He had Jalen Waddle wide open over the middle 2-3 times in the first half that could have possibly been touchdowns, and everything was just high. He was missing everybody. He missed the third down conversion to Ingle because the pass was off. And even in the end there, when you had the call, I think it was Sherfield who dropped it. Drop is a loose word because it was a very, very low throw. It was a tough catch. And then the one to Gesicki wasn't exactly well placed either. He was off all day with the exception of a handful of throws, which is disappointing because the makeshift offensive line, I know he got sacked a few times, but it held up. He wasn't missing guys because he was under pressure, right? So, Armstead was out, and you could make the case that if Tua was under a lot of pressure, he's missing throws. Okay. But he was just missing wide open guys when he had plenty of time, and you can't win a lot of football games like that. And we really didn't try too much to get the running game going. We had a few, I think by the fourth quarter we had like 5 rushing attempts or something. That was a little bit, disappointing to see. And then the defense, look, Jimmy G goes out on their first drive, and here comes this kid, Brock Purdy, and Kyle's sitting in the chair next to me. And, Brock Purdy looks like he's 12 years old. He looks like he's a 12-year-old, literally. He's not even a big guy. And Kyle's like, yeah, Brock Purdy. And I said, you shut up. And you reversed that laugh right into your mouth. And he did, and it didn't matter. We lost to Brock Purdy because that's what the Dolphins do, okay? The Panthers, if you have a goalie who is not playing well, or some third-string goalie nobody has ever heard of, put him in against the Panthers, and we will make him look like Patrick Waugh. The Dolphins, you don't have to change your offense if your quarterback gets hurt, okay? We have a history of allowing backup quarterbacks to come in and look just fine, like nothing happened. And, the defense didn't play terrible. They did make some stops in spots. Okay, after, I believe it was the Tua interception, where it just looked like Ingle either fell down or wasn't looking for the pass. After that, they held him to a field goal. So it was a 2-touchdown game. We come back, we get the long pass to Hill, and we start driving and moving the ball. And you start thinking, okay, we might pull this off. And then, of course, there's the question, and I have no idea if this is even brought up on Twitter or not. There was the question on that 4th and 2 where Gesicki didn't catch the ball. Should we have tried to kick a field goal there? You know what I mean? Because I get the point where if Sanders misses, and Sanders has not been good. So I'm not advocating for or against, but of course in hindsight, if he makes it, and if he makes that, and even if San Francisco comes back and gets another field goal and drives that, we have 2 minutes left, and a touchdown will win the game instead of it being a two-score game. You got to give McDaniel, just cojones. He goes for it on 4th down inside his own 20, and we get it. So I get the part where he wanted to go for that, and it would have been a long field goal. I'm not saying he should have done it. I'm curious what your thoughts there. Hindsight's always 20/20. So look, we knew it was going to be a tough assignment going to San Francisco, right? We don't have good memories going to San Francisco. We just don't, okay? The games always seem to play out the same way, where we look like we can make something happen, like the Super Bowl against the 49ers. Fulton Walker, right? He returns the kick for a touchdown. We had a lead. It looks like we're going to do something good. And then San Francisco scores right before halftime, and they never look back. And when San Francisco scored right before halftime yesterday, I knew it. You could just see it. They were going to get the ball first. And the defense made some stops. I wasn't a fan of immediately going to the zero blitz that they did when they put Purdy in. I get it. You want to try to rattle the kid, but you had to throw different coverages at him. Trust me, if the kid practiced at all this week, which obviously he did because he's the backup, they would have had him prepared for the zero blitz. And he stood in there, and San Francisco did a good job for the most part of picking it up. And look, we lost to a really good team with the best defense statistically in the league on the road. And the only concern I take away from this game is Tua in big games. He's been fantastic for the most part this year, but the 2 games, the Tennessee game last year and this game yesterday, gives me some concern. We know what he's capable of, but there's a mental component there that he's going to have to get over. And it looked like we were starting to get into a rhythm there. He had the long pass to Hill, and then, we started driving. Boy, that 4th down, the 4th down call inside of our own 20 there. Tua, and that even, Tua could have ran for it. He had the room to run, but he decides to throw it. And was it Smythe or was it Cassette? I forget who it was that caught the pass. But he gets nailed from behind, and you think, oh no. But he held, no, it was Tyreek. That's right, because he kept the ball, but the helmet came off. And he said, no freaking way. We just couldn't get it done. We just couldn't get it done. And he had, especially Tua in the first half, had guys wide open all over the field. And he was just missing them. And you knew come second half that was going to tighten up a little bit. We just couldn't make it happen. It's disappointing because team loses their quarterback on the first drive of the game, and you get a touchdown on your first offensive play of the game. Things look pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then you can't, damn it. Now, the flip side to that is everybody else but Buffalo lost. Well, the Ravens are going to win their division, so it doesn't matter. In terms of the wild card, we didn't lose any ground on anybody. So we're still set there. We did lose ground on Cincinnati because they have the tiebreaker to us, and they beat Kansas City. But right now we're pretty solid in that 6th spot. We got the Chargers upcoming this week. A win against the Chargers pretty much will broom them to the side to the, unless somebody has a massive downfall. And then we do still have the Jets, and we do still have the Patriots, and they're right there nipping on our heels. Patriots is in New England. That's going to be a big game. The Jets game is at home. It's going to be a little bit of a different scenario. And then obviously we have the game after the Chargers game this week. We have to go to Buffalo. Now we can still win the division. I mean, I know it's early and I know it's a long shot, but still, basically, no matter what Buffalo does, if the Dolphins win out, we win the AFC East. So let's just, for the time being, let's just focus there. What are we? We're 9-4, right? No, we're 8-4. So there's 5 games left. We just had a 5-game winning streak. Now I know it's a big ask, the Chargers and then the Bills, but the bottom line is, if we win out, we win the division. So, and get a home playoff game. That should be the focus right now. You want to win every game anyway, and that's how we should look at it. It's like, okay, that was if we were going to lose a game on this road trip, that was the game we had to lose because it doesn't hurt us in our conference record. Damn it. Other than that, Jalen Waddle kind of hurt his leg a little bit. He came back, but he didn't look right. Tyreek had a good game. It was good to see Sherfield be able to run away from everybody. It's a damn shame Gesicki couldn't make that catch. I don't know what coach was thinking, because he was screaming and yelling at this is a bunch of BS. I mean, it kind of looked like Gesicki never really had it. I know you want to say he's got it pinned up against his head and his knees were down, but I still think the rule is you got to control the catch as you're going to the ground. As soon as I saw the replay, I knew, and then our defense just couldn't. They couldn't get it done. We needed a 3-and-out, and we couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it, and that's disappointing the way we lost that game, because if Tua plays well in the first half, I think we win that game. If he even plays decent the way we normally see him play, but he was bad yesterday. Wasn't just a little bit off. Like, he was a little bit off against the Texans. Didn't matter. Yesterday, with a few exceptions, he was just flat out bad. So we'll have to see. We win this game against the Chargers, and then you got another big game where, a lot of playoff implications against Buffalo. He's going to have to show us something there. If he throws another egg into the stinker basket against Buffalo, then you start have to be in concern about Tua in big games. Because so far, the big games where things have really mattered, or there's a lot of pressure or a lot of hoo-ha around the game, he's not played well at all. So, all right. Make sure you hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you're new around here, I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. We've been at 5,950 for months now, for whatever reason. So help me get to 6. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow I should be good to go for the Panthers stream. I'm still not feeling 100%. Didn't do the Dolphins stream yesterday. My throat today, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm yelling at this point to get the voice to come out this loud. So I don't know. I'm just going to try to gut through it this week, because even resting is just not. It's the stupid Lyme disease. It's just it gets you every once in a while, and I just have to wait it out. So I'm going to try to gut it out more this week. And do the streams, and all right, no worries yet, Dolphin fans. Right now, unless this team absolutely tanks, we're going to be in a playoff spot. Most likely, you look at any of the teams that we would likely to be playing. If we get the 5 or the 6 seed, I feel comfortable there. Right? You don't want to start talking about getting the 7 or the 8 seed, because then you could be looking at either a Buffalo or a Kansas City trip, depending on how things go. So, just win the next 2. And I know that's a big ask. We had a 3-game road trip. We had to go 2-1. There's the 1. Now, let's finish this right.